7 U.S. presidents have fallen victim to Tecumseh's curse. Tecumseh's curse may sound like hogwash, yet it has been blamed for 7 presidential deaths. 2 others barely escaped death, and Joe Biden is next in line. Should he be worried? Tecumseh's curse is also known as the Curse of Tippecanoe. According to legend, it was imposed by Shawnee Chief Tecumseh. The first victim was President William Henry Harrison. Before being elected, Harrison was the governor of the Indiana Territory. He signed a treaty with the Shawnee. The deal gave the U.S. government more land. Tecumseh thought it unfair. He and his brother, Tenskwatawa, attacked Harrison's army. The 1811 Battle of Tippecanoe was won by the United States. Then Harrison led his troops to seize even more native lands. Tecumseh himself was killed in the 1813 Battle of the Thames. Either he or his brother allegedly cursed the U.S. government. Presidents elected in years divisible by 20 always die in office. The first one to be killed by the curse was Harrison himself. He was elected president in 1840. Harrison was sworn in on March 4, 1841. Exactly a month later, on April 4th, he died of pneumonia. It was the shortest presidency in American history. Harrison was also the first U.S. president to die in office. The next cursed election year was 1860. In 1861, a group of Lincoln's opponents plotted to assassinate him. The so-called Baltimore plot was thwarted by Allan Pinkerton. Lincoln was assassinated during his second term in 1865. He was shot dead by Confederate sympathizer John Wilkes Booth. James A. Garfield was elected in 1880. He was assassinated 4 months after his inauguration in 1881. The killer, Charles J. Guiteau, held a political grudge against Garfield. 1900 was the year William McKinley was re-elected. He should have stuck with 1 term. McKinley was assassinated just 6 months later, in September 1901. Anarchist Leon Czolgosz shot him twice at close range. Fast forward to 1920, Warren G. Harding is elected president. He never even finished his first term. In late July 1923, the president complained of an acute bellyache. 5 days later, he died of a heart attack at 57. There were rumors he'd been poisoned by his wife for cheating on her. Franklin D. Roosevelt, elected in 1940, seemed like an outlier. He served 2 full terms before being re-elected yet again. There was no limit on presidential terms back then. Maybe there should have been, for the curse struck in 1945. FDR died of a brain hemorrhage just weeks before Germany's surrender. John F. Kennedy, elected in 1960, was the last victim. He was assassinated in 1963 during his first term. Ronald Reagan supposedly broke the curse. He was elected in 1980. On March 30, 1981, Reagan was shot and wounded. His attacker, John Hinckley Jr., thought it would impress Jodie Foster. It didn't, and Reagan survived despite being 70 years old. George W. Bush, elected in 2000, served 2 terms. In 2005, he was giving a speech in Tbilisi, Georgia. A man threw a live RGD-5 grenade at the podium. The grenade failed to detonate. The latest president elected in a cursed year is Joe Biden. He's still in office. Do you think Reagan broke the curse? Or is it just an urban legend anyway?